This is difficult.
Hi, this is Ishan from Boyfriend Productions.
Hi, this is Nodin from Urban Gypsy Motorcycling Club.
And we're going to talk about a small trip that we did to Parwanoo. This is right at the beginning of Himachal. It's about a 300 kilometer ride from New Delhi. And we're just going to come across a couple of pointers that we think are going to be useful for everybody who wants to take a trip like this.
Stick to the end of the video, it's a fun one.
Yeah, and if you like this video, hit subscribe. 3 buttons, very important. Subscribe, like and share, and do follow us on Instagram. We have our channel name right there. Please do go and follow. Thank you.
Hello and good morning, people. How are you guys doing? Alright, so we've started our journey. We are going to Parwanoo. This is somewhere a little ahead of Chandigarh. It's just in the beginning of Himachal, so just on the foothills. And so I thought that this was going to be like a solo trip, but then I had my good friend Navadip riding in front of me right now, so he wanted to join along as well. So yeah, the two of us, we are heading out. So from what I understood, since it's going to be just 2 people, we best not go too far or let's not get too adventurous. So we're starting off with a small little journey. So this is around, I think, somewhere between 250 to 300 kilometers, maybe a little bit longer, because we are taking a slightly longer route. So it's going to be about an hour, maybe an hour and a half more than the usual route that Google was showing. So we're not taking the route which goes through Motul, and because I had a bad experience there a couple of months back. I went with a couple of friends to Motul for breakfast, and they have been constructing a flyover forever now, and it hasn't been sorted out yet. So the roads kind of messed up at various places, and so it's better to just take a longer route rather than getting stopped here and there all the time and then going through traffic and just back patches of road. I mean, the idea is to enjoy the ride itself, right? So you get my drift, right? I mean, a little bit of longer distance doesn't really matter as long as it's a nice smooth journey. So here we are. So we are on the Meerut highway right now. We assembled at Pragati Maidan from our individual places. Navadip is actually coming from Noida. So yeah, from Pragati Maidan, and we have just entered what I would say. Oh, what's there? Okay, nothing. So we have just climbed on the Meerut Expressway, and we came here a few months back, if not last year, I believe. And it's a beautiful stretch of road. It's really a rider's dream, because the road, it's a newly constructed flyover, it's a newly constructed path, and the road is just brilliant. So the first toll gate is coming up, and motorcyclists don't need to pay any toll, so woohoo! We'll save some money on that. But yeah, all in all, I think this is gonna be a nice, fun, short trip. We're not planning to go a lot of. We're not planning to do a lot of adventures. We're not planning to go further up north. So the idea is just to kick back for a long weekend. So it's the 12th today, the 12th of August, and that's a Friday. So we have today's time. I'm guessing we will probably reach by lunchtime, so maybe around 1, maybe 2 p.m. yeah, we're just gonna unpack, just stretch our legs a little, just relax for the day and turn it quick, and then maybe next day we will go on for a longer ride within Himachal itself and just explore some new places. Man, it looks so pretty, right? I mean, look at the sun just coming up. It's like nice, bright and orange. And the road is nice and clean. It's like completely empty. Very few little cars. They're all, I think, most people are heading out of town for the long weekend. So we might, we might find some traffic, ahead maybe. And, the reason why we actually, left really early in the morning is to avoid all that traffic. Alright, about an hour has passed since we completely exited the city, and we're on the expressway now, and this is where we can pull. Let's see what we can do. There's a car in front of us. Not now. Wait for it. Wait for it. Come on, move, man. Come on. Yep. You know what? I'm gonna go for it now. And here we go. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, that is quick. That is quick. That is so quick. Oh my god. Oh, that's enough. I think that's enough. That's it. I think that's enough. Thrills for early in the morning. We just started our journey. Let's not get too adventurous. It's a pretty open stretch road. It's a nice, nice piece of tarmac, and I'm not expecting a lot of bad patches here, but then again, you never know.
So I think the first quarter of the journey was probably the most relaxing one. I think partly because we were nicely rested, we had ample amount of sleep last night, we had everything in mind. We were obviously excited for the ride in the morning, but considering the fact that it was pretty early in the morning, the roads were kind of empty, and we actually started out the journey pretty early because we wanted to avoid any kind of traffic situation that we might end up into, because it was a long weekend, and we expected a lot of people from Delhi would be actually leaving the city.
We made a really good decision of taking the Delhi-Meerut expressway. It's a really good road. That whole expressway is really well built, broad, and the scenic beauty is really nice. And there are no stoppage. So we really pulled up ourselves very quickly that we exited the city
way
earlier than we expected.
Yeah, I think we were actually out of the city by 6:30 or 8 a.m. I think by 6:30, 8 a.m. between that time frame, we had actually already exited the city. I think again, like I said before, the rest factor is very important.
As you mentioned,
that should be the first point of discussion. I think because a lot of riders, what they do is they worry too much before any kind of ride. Like how it's going to be, and obviously the excitement factor is obviously there. But if you're worrying too much about what's going to happen on the ride, you end up not getting a nice sleep. You end up not resting enough, and that can actually prove as a downside for your journey. Because think about it, if you're not sleeping properly, if you haven't rested yourself enough, you're gonna get fatigued out very soon into the journey. You're gonna feel tired, and since it's an open road, and you're pretty much just driving straight down the road, and you get that overwhelming feeling of sleep very soon. So it's highly important that apart from all the other preparations, like what gear you should wear, what tools you should carry, and obviously taking into consideration how the road might be, how the weather might be, you also need to consider the fact that resting is extremely important, and you need to give yourself that time, allow yourself that time to get a nice long sleep, at least a minimum of 6 to 8 hours before you wake up and start your journey ahead.
Yeah, I totally agree. And one more thing, like since you are going to start it so early, and you don't want to be so dependent on caffeine for starting a long trip like that, like more than 200 kilometers journey.
Yeah. I think for any journey which is above 100 kilometers is considerably,
A road trip.
a road trip. It's pretty much a road trip. So yeah, I mean, we keep riding in the city now and then every Sunday or every Saturday or whenever possible. But a journey that is this long, you need to factor in a lot of things together, and rest and physical fitness has to be definitely your topmost priority, because if you're fit, if you're able to push yourself in situations where you're requested, or rather you're forced to actually push your boundaries more, it's important that you have rested enough so that you can actually go through all that and endure that ride in the best possible health as possible.
Yeah, because you never know surprises on the road.
Yes, you never know surprises on the road, especially our roads.
Yeah. And yeah, we didn't make too many stops. Like as far as I remember, the first stop we made near Muzaffarnagar around 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
8 a.m.
For breakfast.
Yeah, for breakfast and to stretch our leg or something like that.
Yeah.
And the next was way later, around 2 p.m. or something nearby.
I don't think it was 2 p.m. because by 1:30 we were already at
there.
Right,
So.
but yeah, it was pretty late after that. I mean,
Exactly.
we were riding quite fast, and we were riding very peacefully. There were not a lot of interventions in the road. So the point of the matter is that we didn't have to take too many stops in the middle, and we reached our journey well within the predicted time that we were thinking.
Alright, so we're back. So we had stopped at Muzaffarabad. So there's a nice little place. It's called Dwar. It's a restaurant, kind of a joint where you have like a lot of places to dine in. So we just wanted some light breakfast, some coffee. So we stopped at Starbucks, had a couple of coffees, had a sandwich or something like that, and just refueling, stretched our legs, and yeah. So this was probably around 45 minutes or maybe 1 hour back. So we're still on the stretch within Muzaffarabad. So we are going towards going towards Ambala now, if I'm not wrong. I might be wrong. I'm not very sure. But yeah, so far the journey has been really nice and smooth. It's been really pleasant so far. I think it's getting a little warmer now. I think by the time we head further north, further up, the weather might become slightly cooler. Yeah, let's stretch. Yep. Let's go fast. So the road here is not exactly as smooth as it was back in the city. There are a couple of bumps, couple of rough patches here and there. But overall, it's not a bad piece of road. It's pretty nice. Let's change the point of view, shall we? And through the miracle of time and editing, we are in front of the mountains, dear people. Yep, we crossed Chandigarh. Chandigarh was a pain. A lot of traffic there. People from Delhi, people from Chandigarh, they were all exiting. So a lot of traffic near the borders. But yeah, we are officially on the mountains. I've been really looking forward to this. Lots of nice twisty roads. I just hope they're not bad. I just hope they're not broken at places. But man, it's already looking very promising. Look at the mountains up ahead. All nice and green, clear blue sky. Well, not clear, there are some clouds around. And I think, yeah, there's gonna be some congestion here. People are going towards Kasoli, Shimla, and oh, okay, all right. This is not a single lane. So that's the thing about riding in the mountains. You never know when the roads are single lanes or double lanes, or one ways or not. Sometimes they'll close off one lane, one side of the road because they're constructing it and will divert traffic. Okay, let me just Vertigo Hills. Okay, so we need to take a U-turn. So right here. Okay, all right, nice and easy. Let's take that U-turn, and yeah. So I think Navodit knows the way. I'm guessing he has some idea. Or I don't know. Maybe he just wants to stay up in front. That's cool. I don't mind. A lot of trucks. I think they're waiting for the right time to actually either enter the city or exit the city. They're all going down the hill, I mean. Wow, look at that in front of us. Oh my god, that is so beautiful. Oh man, I cannot wait to get out in the morning tomorrow and just attack these corners. That's gonna be so much fun. He's telling me, oh, cow. Oh wait, that's a bull. Okay, let me just move it quickly. So I think this is kind of like a small settlement around here. So small shops around here, some residential areas, छोटे दुकान. It's the simple life here. People are pretty simple up here. All they need is the basic amenities and they're pretty much sorted. Aluminum. Okay, so that's probably a metal fabricator. That's a good thing to have around. We're pretty close to our hotel, I think. I mean, that's what the map says. We're just about maybe 5-10 minutes away from it. There's a porthole over there, so let's just go around it. Yeah. Okay, so we have to go right and okay, so okay. कच्ची सड़कों के ऊपर से जाएंगे हम. Nice. All right. So the off-roading starts. Easy. All right. Where is it? Okay. So let's take a left. It's over here. I think the parking is here. So the management did tell me that they have a rooftop parking, so I think this is the parking and I think this is it. Yep, this is it. Hi cow. Are you here for the weekend as well? Thank you. And let's park.
finally we have reached the mountains and the hotel. It was so good to reach there, like the valley, the mountains and everything. Like it felt so good
Yeah.
seeing that that road, that twists and the Wadia.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I could actually see the difference in how he was riding as long as we were on the city, or rather, on the plains. Like we were both like just cruising along, just like, kind of in our own zone. But the moment we hit the twisties, I mean, I saw him completely take lead and just push off. I mean, I have never seen a Royal Enfield do that. And I'm on a Z900. I'm on a Z900, and this guy just zips past me like boom. He just goes. I'm like, whoa, what got into him? And he's like really bending into every corner. And this is, mind you, this is after we've already done, around 5.5, maybe 4, maybe 5.5, 6 hours already of our ride. And the adrenaline just kicked in and he just went zoom. And I could see that you were really looking forward to this. I mean, like every stop we made in the middle, he was always like, when are the mountains coming? Pahad ka aayenge, pahad ka aayenge, pahad ka aayenge. And I mean, I could see that he was really all in for it. So yeah, that was definitely something we were both looking forward to.
Yeah, like weekend rides from karte rehte hain, like city mein ride hota hai.
Exactly.
Like riding on mountain is something else.
Yes, absolutely.
Like on those roads, it's like you yourself get some sort of energy out of those valley or those Wadia.
Yeah.
And I was a bit bummed up with the climate there. Yeah, it was a bit hot as we expected it to be cool because it was raining that time. But it was fine, like reaching there and seeing all those greenery and those nice road and our beautiful hotel.
हाँ यार, I think गर्मी ने तो seriously हालत खराब कर दी थी एक point पे, because दोपहर के time the sun was really right on top of us, and we were in gear, right? We were in full gear with our jackets and gloves and helmets, bandanas, boots, and at that point we were like, okay, we need to really stop, and we really need to make our stop at the hotel as soon as possible. But yeah, what we saw when we entered the mountains, we were like already pretty hyped up that okay, today we're tired, but tomorrow in the morning when we're up and about, we are really going to attack these corners and we're really going to have fun on these roads. For the accommodation that we got, it was really a nice, clean, big room with a lot of. It was not exactly what we were anticipating. It actually, I think, it over exceeded what we were thinking.
Yeah.
And I think the food.
The food was so good. Like I really like the food. The roasted chicken.
Oh yes.
We already had all the time.
Yeah, I think we had it every 3 meals.
Yeah.
The day. I mean, that was probably the best thing we ever had. And
even the rooms.
Yeah.
The room we got, it was so spacious and so nicely maintained. That big window,
yes.
We had a big window.
So it was a big French window.
Yeah.
And you could see the road downstairs, and we could see the mountains across.
Yeah, and
at night we could see Chandigarh. We could actually see the lights in Chandigarh somehow. Even though it was cloudy, we could see some section of Chandigarh, with the lights
flickering over the horizon.
Yeah, it was really beautiful.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I think that day we called it a night pretty soon.
Yeah.
And we had some amazing food. Oh, by the way, the restaurant had a fully fledged stock bar, which I think I was the most happy with.
Yeah, I can see that big shimmer in your eyes when you enter the hotel and seeing the big.
Seriously, the moment we entered the rooms and the waiter came in and asked for water and everything, we were like, you know what, that thing can wait. Just get us 2 beers first, and we are dying for a beer. And so that was definitely icing on the cake.
Yeah. The first thing he did, like entering the hotel, he took off the camera and went towards the bar.
That's what I did.
First thing he recorded the bar.
Exactly.
So you'll be able to see it.
That for me is like the beginning of a proper holiday. You have a fully stocked bar at your disposal. So I think that's probably, for me at least.
Yeah, but don't drink it right.
Don't drink it right. Okay, so I think we need to address this to the audience that we are not being paid to place the hotel. We are not being sponsored. We are not being sponsored. But in all seriousness, Hotel Vertigo Hills is definitely a place you would want to check out. If you're making a stop, like if you're going to Kasauli or if you're going to Shimla and you want to make a stop somewhere, I think that makes for a very nice place to just kick back and relax, take some time off, have some really amazing food, have a couple of beers if you want. And yeah, I mean, overall, even if you want to stay for the entire day or spend the entire night, I think they have a very, very well settlement there. It's right on the highway. It's not exactly, you don't need to go very deep inside anywhere. It's right there on the road. They have a roof parking, so parking is never going to be an issue. So yeah, I think all in all, it's a place you definitely should be checking out.
Yeah.
I would like to go there again.
So after settling in, having food, we call it a night, and we went into bed, taking rest. Because although we thought of going ahead, but rest was necessary for the next day. Like, we were quite excited, and we slept a bit early so that we could wake up around.
We slept around at 8, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Because after having that nice food,
oh yeah,
and we were all out.
Yeah, we were out. We were just like stoned out.
So next day we woke up a bit early, got all geared up, and went out around. It was 6:30 p.m. Sorry,
6:30 a.m.
6:30 a.m. And we were on the road thinking about the food. 6:30 a.m. we were on the road, and we, with no any such particular destination, we went out.
Yeah. That's the best part about these kind of trips, like if they're unplanned, you don't have anything jotted down on notebook or an itinerary that this is where we're gonna go. So I think the first stop that we decided we were gonna make is a place called Sunrise Point.
Sunrise Point.
Yeah, Sunrise Point. It was about, I think, an hour. I don't remember the kilometers, but it was about an hour and a half from our hotel. Yeah. So we went there. It's like a small little tent, or not a tent actually, small little structure. Yeah,
structure on
a cliff, where you get to see the sun rising from at the back of the mountains, and you have this nice view of the range, and then you have the very nice view of the valley underneath. So it's really it's a place where you can actually see the sunrise and just chill and just calm and take a moment and think about what you're gonna do in your life. So yeah, so it's kind of those cinematic moments that you wanna have.
Yeah.
After that, I think we decided we were gonna go to Kasoli.
Yeah, we thought of going to the Kasoli, but unfortunately we couldn't.
Yeah.
Because it was, I guess, 13th August nearby.
It was 13th of August and just near Independence Day, so they had sealed off a lot of the routes to the town. We did have an option to actually just park our bikes down the hill and leave our luggage there, and then we had to walk up all the way, but I think that was not worth the trouble. So I think after that, since we had nothing planned, we just rode up and down the hill again, and I think we covered the same route twice, just circling around. And we were still thinking, where do we go? And then we stopped at a small khoka. So for people who don't know what a khoka is, it's like a small shed where there's usually one or maybe two people who are serving you, like something to eat, like or something to drink, so chai, juices. And we had what I think is the quintessential dish that you need to have when you're on the mountains.
Yeah, that pahado ki Maggi.
Pahado ki Maggi, yeah. Exactly. So like really good, nice hot spicy Maggi and garma garam chai, and like we're right at the cliff. There's literally just a drop right 2 feet from us, and just a small railing just to keep us from falling over. And we're just looking at the mountains, and we were scrolling up on our phone that where do we go next, or what do we do now? And we were considering going to Sonal Valley as well, because we've heard very beautiful things about it. But unfortunately, the news showed that there has been a landslide over there, and part of the whole road actually got swept away. So we were just pondering, where do we go? And I was kind of getting bummed that, let's just take another circle and go back to the hotel and relax. But this guy, he was kind of just scrolling up his phone and having his Maggi, and I'm like, what is he doing? And then out of the blue, he just says, let's go to Shimla. I'm like, what?
Why not?
Uske Maggi mein kya mila tha? I don't know. So, he convinced me that, it's just a 3-hour journey. And I'm like, okay, 3 hours pretty doable. Then he said, it's 3 hours one way. And I'm like, okay. But that we decided to make it a day. So we were like, okay, let's go. So let's go to Shimla. And I'm so glad that we did. Yeah. Because the route that we took, or the route that the map showed us, it was completely untraveled. It was empty. It wasn't even a road, to be honest. It was just a pathway carved into the mountain, naturally carved into the mountain.
There was no one.
Yeah, there was no one. There was just few locals around here and there. Yeah. And it was right next to the river. So, seeing the river flow by and then the mountains across, what a beautiful place to just, kick back and relax. And that's when we thought, maybe we should stop for a moment and just take in this nature. and take a few good shots. So we both got down and took a lot of good photos.
Alright, it's 7 a.m., almost 7 a.m., and so we're just going out to explore today. We just have to get through this slightly rough patch. Yeah. So we don't really have much of a plan. So there's a place called Sunrise Point. So we're gonna probably check that out. Let's see what that's about. It's about an hour, maybe an hour and a half away from the hotel. It's near Kasoli. So let's see if we get the opportunity. We'll a lot of portables here. Be careful. So yeah, if we get the chance, we'll probably go to Kasoli as well. Maybe have a nice brunch. Then just wander around. I don't know. Let's see. That's what I like about these small little trips, you know. It's unplanned. Go ahead. Yeah, so that's what I was saying. So, you know, these unplanned trips, they're always fun. You know, you don't really have, you know, everything jotted down, and you just go with the flow, man. You just go with the flow. That's the fun part of it. And that's where we came in from, that U-turn. Okay, so we have to go straight. Okay, slowing down. What's he doing? So, all jokes apart, I think Navadit is a fantastic rider, man. I mean, like, I've ridden with him before. Oh, yeah. Bumpy. Yeah, so I've ridden with him before, and he really knows how to handle his motorcycle, man. I mean, he knows his shit. He's pretty clear as to what his bike can do and how far he can actually push it. And oh, is that a broken? Yeah, that's a broken down truck. Yeah, so he knows how to. He has good command. Oh shit! Whoa, that was close. Shit. Yeah, so it's gonna be a little difficult to talk when I'm riding in the mountains, because you know every corner here is a blind corner. You gotta be really careful. You never know what's coming up in front of you. So I think this is a one-way lane. So oh, that's right. So yeah, I think we can probably ride a little faster here. I don't think we're gonna have any oncoming traffic this side. The lane did split into two. Yeah, so as I was saying, Navadit is really good. Oh yeah, let's take that bend. Yeah, that one too. Yee. Oh, there's a pothole over there again. Oh, wet patch. Slowing down. Yeah, easy, nice and easy. Don't want to skid off here. Just taking it nice and slow. No need to rush. Okay, I think it's getting a little dry. Yep, there we go. I mean, the sun is really nice and bright. It's not exactly warm. It's not cold either. It's nice. Yay! Gliding through just left and right. I'm gonna take the lead. Let's see. Yep. Ooh, oh yeah. Woo! So much fun just bending down and just taking that corner. You gotta be careful with traffic though. You gotta be careful with what's ahead of you. Like I was saying, every corner here is a blind corner, so you don't know what's ahead of you until you actually enter that corner. Okay. Alright. And we go. Yay! Woo! It's like a roller coaster that goes sideways. Pum 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 pum. Where'd he go? Oh, okay. Alright. I'm sure he's having a blast as well. I'm pretty sure he's having a blast. And he was very much excited to be here. He was very much excited to, just ride on the twisties. And I have to say, the Meteor is a really, really finely made bike. I mean, like, I'm genuinely impressed. I mean, granted, yeah, Navodit knows how to ride. He's really good at it. He really knows how to handle that bike. But I mean, I'm impressed. I mean, he hasn't had to keep up with me. I haven't had to slow down for him. I mean, it's genuinely a very, very well made bike. Yeah. Cows on the side of the road. How nice. I mean, he really knows how to, take care of the rider behind him. But that's commendable. Not a lot of people can actually do that. Red patch again. Let's slow down. Let's not be too fast. You really don't want to fall on the mountains. You really, really don't want to fall on these streets. Because you never know who's coming up behind you. So best take it as slow as possible. I really want to kind of do a small review of the bike itself. I mean, the Z900 has been really amazing on the streets of the city. I really want to see what it can do on the hills here. I mean, we are going to probably face some off-roading somewhere or the other. I'm pretty sure about it. So we'll just have to see how this performs in those kind of conditions. I mean, out here on the streets like these, where it's nice and flat, not a lot of bad patches. I mean, this is like a rocket. This is like a rocket that's glued down to the road. Amazing grip everywhere. It's very well balanced. It's very easy to just flick it around the corners and then pick it back up. Like that. And like that. It's pretty nimble as well. And overall, I'm just having a blast on this. And another bend. Look at the road on the map. I mean, did you see the map? It's like the road is like a snake. It's just winding around everywhere. This is gonna be so much fun. Yeah. A little jerky here and there. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Yeah, yeah. Oh, my wife is gonna be so angry when she sees this. Let's head over to Navodit and let's see how his experience is going. I mean, the roads are just amazing. Like I said, I mean, it's a little unpredictable, yes, but then that's part of the fun, a little bit of thrill. I mean, you don't get to ride like this in the city. Come on, where will you ride like this in the city? You can't. And the scenery is just so beautiful. I mean, look at everything around us. It's nice, lush, green, clean, and serene. Okay, there's a toll here. Let's cross that, nice and easy. Okay, I think we're out in the clear again. So let's do a little bit of swivelly. Yay! Keep along the road. Let's be careful with those. Sure, right. Walk right in front of me. Oh, wet patch again. What the hell is with these wet patches? Alright, anyways, we're gonna skip through places where we went and jump right a little ahead in time. Oh, back patch. Oh, dear Lord. Oh my God. Oh yeah. Oh, those trees. Oh my God. Oh wow, there's a car coming in front of me. How great is that? Oh, this is difficult. Yeah. Oh my back. Oh my back. When will this end? Finally.
पड़ गई
Yeah, we took a couple of shots there, and then since it was so calm and so serene, we were not really worried because the road was really bad. That patch of road was extremely bad and downright dangerous because you just have about 3, maybe 4 feet of road of your path.
And then two-way.
Yeah, and it's a two-way. I mean, like you don't know if there's someone else coming from the other side as well, and we're like, you know what, we're just gonna enjoy this view. Just take it careful. Be careful, of course. Obviously, being careful. And I think सबसे ज़्यादा शांति थी when we had reached that forest area. So there was the road was actually winding around a forest in the middle. So like there were really long pine trees and very peaceful away from the town. We could see the town from a distance, and it was so quiet that we could actually hear every single nuance of what nature had to throw at us, like birds chirping and
Out of nowhere.
out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Do you know that
Yeah,
old man who was
exactly.
singing?
I was talking about that.
There was some old man who was minding his business and just singing in his native language, and it was we didn't know where it was coming from. We did not know whether he was at the bottom of the valley or at the top of the valley, but it was so quiet and it was like an auditorium. So everything that he was singing, we could hear it crisp and clear as if he was right in front of us.
Yeah.
And it was so peaceful. We were taking flyby videos and we stopped for a moment and we actually waited for the gentleman to finish his song. And once he did, and we were both like just staring into nothing and just listening to that song. And once that was done, then we decided, what, let's move forward now. And I think that's when we carried on with the rest of the journey. You remember when my horn broke down all of a sudden? I mean, we are riding downhill, and every corner is like a blind corner. I mean, you can't see what's coming across.
Yeah.
And we were solely relying on our horns. Like we would honk our way right before we enter the corner, so that someone or whoever is coming from the other side would at least know that there's another vehicle, coming from the opposite direction. And we're going relatively fast, not very fast, because anyways we're downhill.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, my horn just pops up. Kawasaki, if you're listening to this, a bike that is just 3 months old, the horn popped up. So yeah, anyways, so the horn just stops working, and luckily we had to anyway stop for fuel, and the fuel pump that we stopped at had a fully functional garage in the middle of nowhere, where there was just one petrol pump, and it's a big garage. I mean, it's like a proper service center. Like they had all the tools. It was not like a small mechanic ki dukaan. It was like a proper service center. It had wheel alignment tools. It had full service equipment. It had pressure gauges, tire pressure monitors, whatever you name it.
Yeah.
And we were lucky. I think we were just lucky. And the two people who were there, they weren't really, weren't really surprised to see, a super bike in those areas, because I'm sure they were pretty well equipped, and luckily I just needed a horn, and they had one that suited my bike, and they put on a really loud horn, and I think that was Kismat ki baat thi. I think it was Kismat ki baat thi, and because at the end of it all, safety is of the most important essence at the end. I mean, even if it's as small as a horn, it could really mean a matter of life and death if you're not able to intimate the person in front of you or at the back of you that there is some kind of action that is about to happen. It can lead to a very bad accident. It could lead to a very bad mishap. So I think we were lucky that we had that mechanic stop right over there. I think,
So what's next is we need to address is whatever measure you take, whatever plan you have in your mind, something or other thing might go wrong. So even after multiple checkups or anything, you need to be prepared with any such surprises which I was talking about, like surprises on the road.
Absolutely.
You need to carry some toolkit or some sort of tools. Most of the bikes are equipped with their toolkits, so at least have that with you, because you never know if you are traveling just like us. We did that journey through a patch or through an area which was very secluded.
Yeah.
And that was quite a rural area, so you can't expect help to come very quickly there.
Exactly.
Like people would have a hard time figuring out the actual location also.
Right.
So you need to be equipped and have knowledge about a small fix about your bike,
Exactly.
and need to know your machine, like what can go wrong and how easily you can handle that up. Because what if we couldn't have the workshop there?
Exactly. What if we didn't have the workshop there? I mean, we would have to rely on pretty much our wits. I mean, he would have to honk all the way, and he would have to really stay in touch. But I think that's one of the most important things we need to address in this video right now. So, a couple of things that you as a rider should always keep into consideration when you're heading off on an adventure like this. See, safety for yourself and your fellow riders, and also for the people on the road.
Yeah.
You need to be the best prepared. I mean, nobody is going to prepare for you. So always have the appropriate riding gear. So your riding jacket with your at least level 2 protection. So that includes your shoulder pads, your elbows, your back protector, chest protector if your jacket provides it,
riding pants, because let's face it, guys, jeans will rip apart if you fall.
And that's the first point of contact.
That's the first point of contact, exactly. So have riding jeans. These are lined with Kevlar. They have knee pads built into them. They have hip pads built into them. So it's very important to have these elements. You also should be wearing riding boots as well, whether they are long boots or short boots, whatever suits you. But these little things, people usually overlook. Nowadays, the awareness for this has come up. It's also a fashion statement nowadays. Who has the most expensive gear? But the crux of the matter is, don't ride without it. Wear your gloves. You can wear riding leather gloves for the show of it, but at the end of it all, if you do fall, if you have an unfortunate event, your knuckles are going to go for a toss if you hit the road.
And imagine what can happen.
Yeah, imagine, exactly. Imagine your bike falling on your hand. It's going to shatter every bone in it. So these gears are designed specifically to avoid all these kind of mishaps. So your riding glove will have armor on your finger, on your palm, on your wrist. And always wear a decent helmet, not just for the looks of it. You don't go for the looks.
Avoid challan.
Yeah, and avoiding challan. But most importantly, you should have your safety at your own hand, right? So go for a helmet which is rated nicely in the international market. Wear a helmet which has like really tight padding. It should be uncomfortable to a point where it becomes suffocating. At least for the first couple of days of wearing it.
Yeah.
That's how an ideal helmet is supposed to be. It's supposed to grip your head so tightly that it avoids any kind of whiplash in case of an accident, in case of a fall. It should avoid rotating on its own, because that's where it can snap off your neck. So it has to be well built. So always keep these things into consideration before heading out for any kind of ride. I mean, like even if you're going on a short ride early in the morning, I think we never ride without gear.
No.
Like whenever we go out for a ride, whether it's evening, whether it's at night, or whether it's in the morning, we always make it a point that we are always in gear, no matter what happens. Because as a rider, you set an example for everybody else on the road, every other rider or every other person who wants to take up this activity. Because it's not just for the styling. I mean, yeah, sure, you do look cool in it. You definitely look like a serious rider wearing all the gear. But at the end of it all, there's someone waiting for you at home, right?
Yeah.
And motorcycling is an extremely. If you've seen the episode from Power Drift where Shumi addresses how or what motorcycling is, it's an extremely selfish choice, I would believe. There's no denying it. Buying an expensive motorcycle, buying expensive gears, it is always a selfish choice. It is very rare that your significant other or someone from your family would be actually supporting it. But that being said, it should never come at a cost of their happiness. It should not come at the cost of your other expenses, your other responsibilities, and definitely not on your life. So don't show off on the road. I mean, to be very honest, if you're wearing that kind of a gear and you're riding a decent bike, I think that's show off enough without doing anything stupid on the road.
Exactly.
So that should not be your goal. So sometimes going fast is not the ideal goal.
Yeah.
You have to maneuver yourself according to your own circumstances. Like we hit pretty bad patches on a couple of places.
Yeah.
Where there were actually no roads. Forget potholes. There were actually no roads, and the road dipped irregularly everywhere. And so in those kind of situations, it's best not to go fast, because you never know, how your tire might get deflected from any kind of bump or any kind of stones. It's best to be physically fit enough to maneuver yourself around the bike and counterbalance it, and then take those tight corners and then maneuver yourself across that patch of road. But that's the thing. Sometimes taking it slow, taking it steady is the far better or the far more wise choice to do, rather than just gunning it and just going straight. Anyone can go straight in a straight line. But yeah, I mean, these are just a couple of things I think any rider should keep in mind before taking up an adventure like this.
Yeah, it's not like you're wearing gear and it's a protective shield around you. It's gonna protect you from some part of the impact if you met an accident. But that's not there. Wearing the jacket means you can go nuts on the road. It shows like you are a responsible rider and be like that on the road. Exactly. And set an example for others.
Exactly.
Because there are a lot of young riders out there.
Exactly.
And we need to set up an example, like how we should ride and how we should respect other riders too on the road.
Exactly. And I think since we were riding in the mountains, it's very different from riding on the plains.
Yeah,
there's a far greater risk involved. Like I said, and I've repeated this in the blog itself,
every corner is a blind corner. You don't know what's coming up across the corner. You don't know what's coming up ahead of you. The roads are very tricky on the mountains. They suddenly split into two lanes and then converge back into one lane. It suddenly becomes a single lane or a two-way or a one-way.
And landslides.
And
You never know.
Exactly, there are landslides, there are water spills, wet patches. So you need to consider all of this. Sure, have fun. Don't worry yourself to death. Don't devoid yourself from having
Be
fun.
alert.
But yeah, keep your alertness at maybe 100% to your capability, because a responsible rider will always enjoy the ride far better than let's say a frivolous rider who's just out there for the kicks. I know the adrenaline really kicks in. You really want to go fast. You really want to take that corner, bend that corner, and to grind your knee across it. But don't do it at the cost of your health. Don't do it at the cost of ruining somebody else's trip as well. Don't do it at the cost of de-shaming yourself, because when you get into an accident, God forbid that you actually have a very fatal one, but you set an example for every other rider there on the road. Because the locals there, the people around you will see that ये तो बहुत बड़ी बाइक लेके आया था, ऐसे तेज चला रहा था और उस तरह गिर गया, सारे ऐसे ही होते हैं. We are already stereotyped as outlaws. Let's be honest. We are already stereotyped as outlaws. So let's not make it worse for ourselves. That being said, I think we have come to the conclusion of this little vlog. If you like the vlog that we had shot, I hope you like the videos that we posted. And for further videos, for further content, just stay tuned to this channel. Follow us on Instagram again. And I hope you have a nice ride ahead, and ride safe, ride responsibly, and always come back home, because somebody is always waiting for you. अगर वो नहीं आता तो वो माइक का एरर मार देगा. Coffee. You can go out actually. And just lock the door from the key outside.
ये वाला मेरा वाला तुम्हारा.
Okay, let's start from the beginning. Just check if that is recording. Because somebody is always waiting for you. ये थोड़ा filmy हो गया, but alright. Ciao people.
Bye-bye.
See ya.